told the last week, mercy of Radha Mohan and mercy of Gurudev, we are again back on our continuous program to just listen and meditate. Pastime of our Ishtadeva Radha Mohan. So this Aghasura Leela is continuing. He said so many things about Aghasura regarding many things. So now today we will start from the text 17. We all knew about this demonic nature, and we all knew about this, our Krishna's nature, with how everything that is going to be turned in the wrong way is turning in the right way by the mercy of the Lord, the mercy of our Ishtadev. Dharadharoshto jaladuttaroshto daryanananto grishingadranshta dhavantatarasyo vitatadhvaj chinnaha parashunil shwas davekshnutranaha. His lower lip rested on the surface of the earth, and his upper lip was touching the clouds in the sky. The borders of his mouth resembled the sides of a big cave in a mountain. This new Aghasura extended his mouth like this. So when the trouble comes in our life in the form of Aghasura, are also in the size of like this. Meaning to say that we go different places in search of peace or in search of calmness and search of something like this, many things. Here and there we are searching. But there is no peace. We don't see anywhere that is full of calamity, different things. Wherever you go, destructive mind people are there. They are destructive ideas. That's why it becomes very important to come on the spiritual way to find the real enjoyment. A real comforts available only in a spiritual world. But unfortunately, many of us start finding the real pleasure around us in different negativity. And the middle of his mouth was dark as possible. You see, the ray of light is nowhere. Meaning of saying that the darkness is also there. So even you go different places, darkness. What we can see in darkness. The same lies This a blind person is trying to catch something in the air, wagging his head. The same thing is there. We become blind after coming in material. So we lose our visibility, the power of our eyes. And this darkness doesn't let us see the real truth of human life. His tongue resembled a broad traffic way, fully jammed. His breath was like a warm wind. And his eyes blazed like fire. All negative circumstances are available over there. When the mind becomes like Aghasura, circumstances are positive. Just by our different meaningless effort, we make it useless. Text 18. दृष्ट्वा तं तादृशं सर्वे मत्वा वृन्दावनश्रयं व्याप्त्या जगत्तुण्डेन व्युत्प्रेक्षन्ते स्म लीलया. Upon seeing this demon's wonderful form, wow, the word coming here, wonderful, which resembled a great python, the boys thought that it must be a beautiful scenic spot of Vrindavan. In material world, when we are covered with Maya, we see the things in material world like this. That is not in our favor. But we always think, oh, it's all favorable. Actually not. Thereafter, they imagine to be similar to the mouth of a great python. In other words, the boys were unafraid. The two type of people we can be unafraid. Completely pure people, those who never think about bad, see bad anywhere. You see the mood of these Brajbasi boys. For them it was wonderful. They were just thinking that this is just a kind of shape for us to make to play over here. But wise people use, oh my God, I never seen like this. No, don't need to go there. But there was no fear for these Brajbasi boys or the Cowherd boys. Krishna was there. This was also true. But in material world, what happens with us, even sometimes being in spiritual, we think very differently. Oh my God, what will happen? Fearfulness. Should be like this. Once we came, surrender, have belief and faith, why we need to be fear? We don't need to be fear for anything. It's like the same, the Cowherd boys of the Vrindavana was free from any kind of thinking that makes them fear. Completely unafraid. Thought that it was a statue made in the shape of a great python to the enjoyment of their pastime. Oh, this is just a thing. Maybe Krishna created this for us to play over here. This is the same kind of thing. The Prabhupada is saying in his purport, some of the boys, upon seeing this wonderful phenomenon, thought that it was in fact a python, and they were fleeing from the spot. But others said, why are you fleeing? It is not possible that a python like this is staying here. They never thought anything bad. Why python will come? They never thought like this. This is a spot of beauty for sporting. And that is what they only imagined, Cowherd boys. Because they were not thinking anything bad. In different way. When they will think, oh my God, then we become fearful. But they were not afraid. This was 24/7 there with Krishna, thinking about Krishna, doing for Krishna. Krishna was everything. So this Cowherd boys were totally unafraid from any kind of disturbances. Even their death is near, that this python can shut his mouth anytime and they can die. But they didn't think about this. It shows the level of bhakti when a person reaches. His everything depend upon Ishtadev. He no need to be fear. He no need to be think. What will happen, will happen. No need to worry. Aho mitrani gadat satrukutam purasthitam asmat sangrasanat vyaptavyat tundayate nava asmat sangrasanat vyaptavyal tundayate nava. The boy said, dear friend, is this creature dead? Or is it actually a living python with its mouth spread wide just to swallow us all? One of the boys said, thinking like this. So please kindly clear up this doubt. He was a little doubtful. This was also the part of Leela. So this also happened on the direction of Sri Krishna, that someone will say like this. Prabhupada is writing in his purport. Now all these friends starting discussion among themselves. The reality of this wonderful creature that was lying before them. Now they started discussion, was it dead? Is it dead? Or actually living? A python trying to swallow them up? All this kind of thinking, they start to think. Satyamarkrar mukta muttarahanuvad adhrahanuvad rodhas tat chaya runam. Thereafter, they decided, now, dear friend, this is certainly an animal sitting here to swallow us all. Its upper lip resembles a cloud reddened by the sunshine, and its lower lip resembles the reddish shadows of a cloud. So form was the very big form, and definitely this Asura came, Aghasura came, this Asura came in the very cruel and angry form to swallow or to finish all these boys along with this Krishna. And his plan was what we last time shared, that slowly all these cowherd boys will die, Krishna will die, and in their painful situation, the all other Brajavasi will also die. So there will be no more other Brajavasi, and all things of there, and our king Kamsa will be very peaceful. So this was the plan of Aghasura here. So all features of his mood was becoming marked inside on his body and inside his mouth. The reddish, shining, all this. So similarly, when we become so much angry, our form of our face is also different change. Our tongue, our teeth, all. So the Aghasura was in this mood, demoniac. The text 21. Prati aspardhete sukribhyam sabya sabbe nagodare tunga sringalayo petat astadnashta bhinsparshat. On the left and right, the two depressions resembling mountain caves are the corners of its mouth, and the high mountain peaks are its teeth. So it becomes so big, the teeth were looking like peak, and sides were looking like caves. Astritayam margoyam rasanam pratigarjati esam antargatam dhvantam meta dapyan antaranam. In length and breadth, the animal's tongue resembles a broad traffic way, and the inside of its mouth is very, very dark, like a cave in a mountain. Generally what it happens, what it seems. दावोष्ण कर्वातोयम श्वासवद भाति पश्यतः तदग्ध सत्व दुर्गंधो अप्यंतरामिष गंधवत. The hot flary wind is the breath coming out of his mouth. The generally snake take in the breath and take out. The hot fiery wind in the mouth. Hot, it was not normal wind or the food. Fiery wind breath coming out of his mouth, which is giving off the bad smell. of burning flesh because of all the dead bodies he has eaten. Aghasura, python, eating only, not eating prasadam, so eating different kind of things. So as per the nature of python, so bad smell were also coming from his mouth. Asman kamrta garsita nimishta nayam tata chet bakvat vinangshati chanad neneti bakar mishanmukam vichod santah kartang neryayu. Then the boy said, Asman ke matra garsita nivistan. Has this living creature come to swallow us? Now they're discussing, slowly reaching to the point. If he does so, he will immediately be killed like Bakasura. They were knowing, oh, Krishna is there. Without delay. Maybe he is not knowing this. Aghasura is not knowing that what happened with Bakasura, with his brother. If he has any idea, this is the meaning of the shelter of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. With devotee, you can never see anything like this, something happening wrong. And although he took birth in Braja, the Brajvasi were there, where his pran, Atma, soul, how he can see his Brajavasis in such a difficult situation? Not possible for Krishna. So they are saying it will not take time to kill him. The real devotee also thinks like this. Okay, something coming to me, but this thing he doesn't know my Isudeva. What he can do? Okay, no problem. I'm not fearful. You have to be very careful. Oh Aghasura, oh Bakasura, you need to be careful. I no need to be careful. Okay, I know who is my caretaker. Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak. I no need to worry. Boys were thinking like this. We no need to worry. Qualities of this real devotees like Brajvasi. Thus they looked at the beautiful face of Krishna, the enemy of Bakasura, and laughing loudly and clapping their hands because they understood all they entered the mouth of the python. All of these cowherd boys, not before until they look Krishna. Until they didn't see Krishna, they didn't enter. After looking Krishna, they entered. Oh, now we are not fearful. Whatever, whosoever you are, doesn't matter. Then they entered after. After talking about the terrible animal this way and that way, now Prabhupada is saying in purport, after talking about the terrible animal this way and that way, they decided to enter the demon's mouth. Why? They had full faith in Krishna because they had experienced how Krishna saved them from the mouth of Bakasura. This was enough for these Brajvasi boys. Now here was another Asura, Aghasura. After Bakasura, he came. Therefore, they wanted to enjoy the sport of entering the demon's mouth. Same thing as they enjoyed at the time of Bakasura. Because Bakasura was trying to catch cowherd boys and taking in his mouth, swelling them. And at that time, Krishna hold both of his beak. Then all cowherd boys jump out of his mouth. And being saved by Krishna, they want to repeat the same sport again because they were enjoying this. 625. Ittam mithotatyamatam man bhashitam srutva vichantiyat mrishayate raksho viditva khil bhut hrita sthitah swanam nirodhadum bhagavan manodhade. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is situated as Antaryami. Antaryami means who is residing inside the heart of the devotee. The super soul. In the core of everyone's heart, heard the boys talking among themselves about the artificial python. He heard already what they are talking about. That is real python, although he's same kind, he came like Bakasura. Unknown to them, it was actually Aghasura. But the cowherd boys were not knowing this, the name yet. A demon who had appeared as a python. Krishna knowing this, he was knowing, he knows everything. Wanted to forbid his associate how to save his friends to enter the demon's mouth. Tavat papichastam surodhanantaram, because these cowherd boys were very innocent. So innocent that they cannot even thought that this can be a demon. Tavat pravishastava surandharantaram param girvaha sishva savatsaha pratikshmanin bakariveshanam atasvakanta smaranen rakshasaha. Tavat pravishastava surodharantaram param girna sishva savatsaha. In the meantime, while Krishna was considering how to stop them, all the cowherd boys entered the mouth of demon. The demon, however, did not swallow them, for he was thinking of his own relatives. Aghasura was also thinking that some of my relatives who had been killed by Krishna and was just waiting for Krishna to enter in his mouth. He was waiting, yeah, okay, all cowherd boys, but the main hero didn't come yet. I want this main hero also to enter, then the all all drama will finish at a time. You see Aghasura waiting for Krishna. Huh? Definitely waiting for Krishna, but the mood is totally different. In the form of enemy. Huh? The idea to kill him. Tan Viksha Krishna Sakala Bhayaprado Ananyanathan Sukra Vyachutan Dinan Samrityur Jatragni Ghasan Grinadito Drishkriten Vismitaha. Krishna saw that all the cowherd boys who did not know anyone but him as their Lord. I was thinking they are totally dependent on me. And they don't know anything else except me. Had now gone out of his hand and were helpless, having entered like straws into the fire of the abdomen of Aghasura. Like there is a fire inside the mouth of this demon, and this all cowherd boys was looking like a piece of straw. Fire is there, then all this straw will burn, all this cowherd boy will die. So Aghasura, who was death personified, who appeared there in the form of their Kal, death. It was intolerable for Krishna to be separated from his friends, the cowherd boys. Many these type of incident Krishna had done at the time of Graha. When he called, he appeared. At the time when Draupadi called, he appeared. Huh? At the time Ajamil called, he appeared. So this appeared why? Because he was knowing who is calling me. My real lover calling me. My real devotee calling me. It was intolerable for Krishna to be separated from his friends, the cowherd boys. And here the topmost lovers, Brajvasis, were there. Therefore, as if seeing that this had been arranged by his internal potential. Krishna's internal potential. Krishna was momentarily struck with wonder and unsure of what to do. Krityam kimmatrasya klesya jivanam nama amisam cha satam vihinsanam toyam katam syaditi samvinchintindeya gyatva vishtunda mashesh digharihi. Now what was to be done? What to do now? How could both the killing of this demon and the saving of the devotees be performed simultaneously? How these two things need to be done at a time? Krishna was thinking. Krishna being unlimitedly potent, decided to wait for an intelligent means by which he could simultaneously save the boy and kill the demon. Then he entered the mouth of Aghasura. But anyhow, I have to save them. Krishna, Prabhupada is saying now in his purport, Krishna is as Ananta Virya Sarvagya. Because everything is known to him. He knowing everything. Because he knows everything perfectly well. It was not difficult for him to find a means by which he could save the boys and at the same time kill the demon. He was knowing nicely, wow, it is the only thing. For him, he was not thinking. He was thinking about the boys, saving and killing the demon. Because nothing was going to happen with him. He was sure. In the other word, we can say he didn't thought about this. Without thinking, I want to save my coward boys. And I need to kill this team. Thus, he also decided to enter the demon's mouth. Tada ghanachada deva bhayadya heti chukrushuhu jaha suryecha kansadya konapastobha bandhava. When Krishna entered the mouth of Aghasura, the demigods hidden behind the clouds exclaimed, Jai Ho, Jai Ho. But the friend of Aghasura, like Kamsa and other demons, they were jubilant. What this happened? Chutva Bhagwan Krishna Stabhyah Sarvavatskam Churanichi Krishnatmanam Tardha Bridegale. No, the demigods behind the cloud, they were little worried. But the Kamsa and other demons, his demon, were very happy. Sorry to say. It's a little mistake. Demigods saw that, so now Krishna also entered, or the cowherd boys, what will happen? They become so worried. So demigods who was hiding behind the clouds. On the other side, the Kamsa and his friends, other demons, they were completely assured, oh, now finish. Because they are totally away from Krishna's mercy, na? They cannot think much. Demoniac have power, but not thinking ability. When the invincible supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, the demigods crying from behind the clouds, he immediately enlarged himself within the demon's throat. Now is making himself bigger inside the mouth of Aghasura. Just to save himself and the cowherd boys. His own associates from the demon who wished to smash them. Prabhupada saying in his purport, such are the acts of Krishna, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam. By enlarging himself within the throat of demon, Krishna suffocated and killed him, and at the same time saved himself and his associates from imminent death, and also saved the demigods from lamentation. So he made his form so bigger, and holding his upper mouth with his hand and standing on the bottom mouth. Tatvatikayasya niruddhamargino drishter brahmatatyastataha. Purnantrange pavno nirdho murdhan nirvidya brinigito vahi. Tatvatikayasya niruddhamargino. Then, because Krishna had increased the size of his body, Krishna said, okay, you made as much big you can make. Let's see how big you can make. So he made himself inside his mouth like this. The demon extended his own body to a very large size. Again, demon started to Aghasura his mouth again. But nonetheless, by doing this, his breathing stopped. He suffocated, and his eyes rolled here and there and popped out. The demon's life air, however, could not pass through any outlet, and therefore it finally burst out through a hole in the top of the demon's head. Krishna blocked the air through what he was breathing by making himself large inside his mouth. So he was totally unable to take breath in. All his breath getting stored inside his body, and thus then his head burst. And there is a hole become on the top of the demon's head. And Aghasura, Jai Jai Sri Radha. Teinaiva sarvesu bhigatesu pranesu vatsan surda pretan tishtya swayuthapya tadunanta puna vaktran mukundo bhagwan viniryayo. When all the demons' life here had passed away, through that hole in the top of his head, Krishna glanced over the dead calves and cowherd boys and brought them back to life. Because inside his mouth it was so gassy and the warm fire type of air was there, so cowherd boys entered and they became unconscious near to death. So Krishna brought all them out and make them live again. Then Mukunda, who can give one liberation, came out from the demon's mouth with his friends and the calves. How Krishna can see this cowherd boys are going like this? Till he is there. Tavai Vasumi. The cowherd boys are saying, you are our pran. Except you, we don't know anyone. Krishna also, yeah, I know. Nobody can love me also like you are loving me. So I'm ready to do anything for you. Pina hi bhogot madbhutam maha jyotir swadhamna jwalayat dishodash pratikshya khevastitam mish nirgamam vivesh tasmin mishtam divoksam. From the body of the gigantic python, a glaring effulgence came out. Illuminating all directions, and he stayed individually in the sky until Krishna came out from the corpse mouth. One effulgence come out of the body of Aghasura, Atma, illuminating on all directions, moving here and there. And was waiting in the sky at one point. When the Krishna will come out and I will have darshan. Actually, no darshan, what happened next? And he stayed individually in the sky until Krishna came out from the corpse mouth. Then, as all the demigods looked on, they were all watching. This effulgence that came out from Aghasura body entered into the Krishna's body. Krishna gave him liberation like Putana, Aghasura, Bakasura, like other demons. Doesn't matter about Putana. She also came with the idea to kill the Krishna. But she put her breast in the mouth of Krishna. So Krishna thought, only my mother breast I am sucking. And she also put her breast in my mouth. So somehow she is also my mother. So Krishna sent to Putana in Matri Loka, where she can meet every day to Krishna. The same time, because she killed by the hand of Krishna. Aghasura, Bakasura, Ristasura, whatever, whosoever, they killed by the hands of Krishna. So their effulgence entered in the Krishna's body. Because Krishna sent them on their respective nice places, they all liberated by the mercy of Sri Krishna. So this is also one kind of mercy, but this was not the mercy following the path of love. The top class, high class mercy, when devotees follow the path of love, full of path of love, and make relationship with Krishna, this is totally different. Demons were also having association, looking Krishna face to face. But their looking Krishna face to face was useless. There was no love. There was no feeling. There was no mood of making some relation. There was a mood of fighting, killing, all negativity. Very long purport Prabhupada is saying, apparently the serpent named Aghasura, because of having received association with Krishna, attained mukti, liberated, entering Krishna's body. So this type of mukti called sayujya, he became one. He will have darshan every day. But later it is said in this verse that like Aghasura and Dantavakra and others, they got sarupya mukti. This has been broadly described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur with a reference from the Vaishnava Toshani and Srila Jiva Goswami. Aghasura attained Sarupya Mukti, being promoted to the Vaikuntha planet to live with the same four-armed bodily features as Vishnu. The explanation of how this is so may be summarized as follows. The effulgence came out from the python's body and became purified, attaining spiritual Shuddha Sattva. By the mercy of dear Lord. Freedom from material contamination. Because Krishna had stayed within the serpent's body, already he entered inside the body of this Aghasura. Even after the serpent's death, means the Aghasura dead, but Krishna was still standing inside the mouth and he was bringing out the cowherd voice out of his mouth. One may doubt that such a demon full of mischievous activities, how possible? To attain the liberation of Sarupya or Sayuja, and one may be astonished about this. How possible that he got Sarupya? But here Krishna is so kind that in order to drive away such a doubt, he had the effulgence, the individual life of the python, wait for some time in its individuality. individuality in the presence of all the demigods. That time demigods were also available, they were also watching all this. Krishna is the full of effulgence, and every living being is part and partial of that effulgence. As it is proved here, the effulgence in every living being is individual. For some time, the effulgence remained outside the demon's body, individually, and did not mix with the whole effulgence. The Brahma Jyoti was separated from Aghasura body. The Brahma effulgence is not visible to materialize. But to prove that every living being is individual, Krishna had this individual effulgence stay outside the demon's body for some time, was waiting in the sky till the Krishna came out of the mouth, dead mouth of Aghasura, for everyone to see. Demigods also were there. They were thinking, oh my God, what happened now with our Ishtadev? Then Krishna proved that anyone killed by him attains liberation, whether Sayujya, Sarupya, Samipya, or whatever. But the liberation of the transcendental platform of love and affection is totally different. This is called Vimukti, a special liberation. That's why the serpent first entered the body of Krishna personally and mixed with the Brahma effulgence. This merging is called Sayujya Mukti. But from later verse, we find that Aghasura attained Sarupya Mukti. Aghasura attained a body exactly like that of Vishnu. And the words after that also clarify that he attained a completely spiritual body like that of Narayan. Therefore, in 2 or 3 places, the Bhagavatam has confirmed that Aghasura attained Sarupya Mukti, entered inside the body of Krishna. One may then argue how it is what he mixed with the Brahma effulgence. How possible? The answer is that as Jaya and Vijaya after 3 births again attained Sarupya Mukti, an association with the Lord. Jaya and Vijaya was cursed by this Kumaras, Sanat Sanat Kumar Sanandan. So they will again go in the Sarupya Mukti and association with the Lord. Aghasura received a similar liberation. Jaya Vijaya was also the guards at the gate of Krishna. Sri Vishnu over there, na? But they stopped this Sanatan Kumar, Sacinandan, Sanatan Kumar, the four sons of Brahma. Then they curse these two that this is your behavior as demoniac. You have to birth 3 times as a demoniac form. So they also coming after cursing, becoming the demon. They are coming back Sarupya Mukti. So Aghasura also received a similar liberation. So I think it's time to take permission to you. So thank you very much to be here, just to have participate on this saying, which is already 11:33, I think. Yeah.
अरे पूरा करो उसको, अगर माने असुरों को, असुरा का पूरा कहानी बता दो, एक तो स्टोरी कर दो. अभी क्या 12 बजे तक करो, ये लोग तैयार है सुनने.
Okay. They saying to be continued.
हाँ, go down, go on.
So Aghasura received a similar liberation. Tato Trishta Sakrito Kritarhanam Pushpai Suga Apsarashanartanahe Gitai Suravad Dharasavad Astavaisya Vipra Jaini So Nirganaha. Thereafter, everyone being pleased, the demigods began to shower flowers from Nandan Kanana. The celestial dancing girls, Apsaras, to dance, began to dance. And the Gandharvas, who are famous for singing, offered songs of prayer. The drummers began to beat their kettle drums. And the Brahmanas offered Vedic hymns. In this way, both in the heavens and on earth, everyone began to perform his own duties, glorifying the God. The same thing that something happens good in our life by someone, then we also glorify it. So he was the Krishna, Supreme Personality. All the demigods were very happy. Oh, today again one of the demon have been killed. Krishna also came out very safely. They were happy because the Krishna also came out very safely. So all the demigods were standing, bringing flowers from the different places, nice, beautiful flowers. Singers were started singing. Dancers started dancing. And the drummers were playing their different drums with the different kinds of trumpets, and every different kind of musicians were there in the glory of the God. So now Prabhupada is saying that everyone has a particular duty. The Shastra Nirupita means Shastra concluded that everyone should glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead as per his personal qualification. And like if someone is singer, he can show his offer his singing, Raga Seva. If someone is dancer, he can glorify him with his dance. If someone is poet, He can write some poems to the glory of Krishna. If someone is a writer, he can write a book. If someone is a painter, he can paint something. Means this all showing that whatever seva you are knowing, meaning doesn't mean that you need to do all seva. Whatever you are particularly you are receiving, as per your qualification, whatever qualities you have, you know. Some knows nice dressmaking, some knows nicely cleaning, huh? Some knows flower decorating. So here it is said about the different kind of seva as per the different their particular qualification. Means swanustisthaya dharmasya samsiddhir hari toshanam. With the perfection of our life, whatever we are perfect, it means whatever we know. Perfect means the meaning of perfection is very high, differently. So whatever capacity, as per our capacity, what can we do to satisfy our Ishtadev? We should do. This is called Seva Bhakti. Why? Because beginning from this earth up to the celestial kingdom, everyone engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead to our Ishtadeva. Because of love. To whom we glorify? When we see the qualities, when we see the nature, and this nature entered in our heart, and Krishna, who can be other than Krishna? Its name is Krishna, means Akarshayati iti Krishna. It attracts automatically. So the who attracts our heart like this, for whom our heart will glorify. Only for that one. So this is the decision of all saintly persons, whatever qualification one has, should be utilized to glorify to Ishtadev. It can be meaning in the seva also, not only that writing something, or today I wrote some. No. It comes in the part of different kind of seva as per your capacity, as per your qualification. Whatever you can do. And it is very clear that when we do seva, he please. When we do our unconditional seva, we understand him. He pleased a lot. And in this situation, he is ready to give anything to his devotee. But devotees who are deeply in love, they say, when he asks, what you want, say. They say, we only want your love. We only want your love, attain your love by doing your seva. This is the desire of learned sages have definitely concluded. Learned sages have definitely concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, austerity, Vedic study, sacrifice, the chanting of hymns, and charity is found in the transcendental description of the qualities of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 5th chapter, 22 sloka. These are the mean to satisfy him. The sum total of all this saying, by doing all this, we satisfy, and this is the perfection of our life. One should be trained how to glorify the Supreme Personality by one's respective qualities. Education, austerity, penance, or in the modern world, business, industry, education, and so on. The ancient style and the modern style both should be engaged in the glorifying of the Lord. Then everyone in the world will be happy. Krishna comes, therefore, to exhibit his transcendental activities so that people may have the chance to glorify him in every respect. To understand how to glorify the Lord is actual research work. It is not that everyone should be understood without God. That is condemned. Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya jati shastram japastapa arpananasyeva dehasya mandanam loka ranjanam. Hari Bhakti Subodhaya. Without Bhagavad Bhakti, without glorification of the Supreme Lord, whatever we have is simplified a decoration of dead body. Yeah. Just decorating the dead body. That is meaningless. तदद्भुत स्त्रोत सुवादि गीतिका जयादिने कोत्सव मंगल स्वनान श्रुत्वा सो धामनोन अंत्यज आगतो चिरात दृष्ट्वा महिषस्य जगाम विस्मयम. तद अद्भुत स्तोत्र सुवाद्य गीतिका जयादिने कोत्सव मंगल स्वनान. When Lord Brahma heard the wonderful ceremony going on near his planet, Brahma was not knowing, accompanied by music and songs, sounds of Jaya Jaya, he immediately came down to see the function. Mahishasya jagam vismayam. Then what happened? Upon seeing so much glorification of Lord Krishna, he was completely astonished. Drishtva Mahishasya jagam vismayam. This was astonished. Rajanna Jagaram Charam Suskam Vrindavane Adbhutam Prajoksam Bahutitam Babuva Krid Grahavram. Now Sukdev Goswami saying to Parikshit Maharaj, O King Parikshit, when the python shaped body of Aghasura dried up into merely a big skin, it became a wonderful place for the inhabitants of Vrindavana to visit. And it remained so for a long time. So Aghasura body was since long over there, laying down in the Vrindavana, and everybody was going and visiting them and looking them. Oh my God, how big this demon was. Etat Kaumarajam Karam Hare Ratmanam Himokshanam Etat Kaumarajam Karam Hare Ratmam Himokshanam Mrityo Poganda Ke Bala Krishtavo Chur Vishmita Vraje. The incident of Krishna saving himself and his associates from death and of giving deliverance to Aghasura, who had assumed the form of a python, took place when Krishna was 5 years old. Krishna was only 5 years old that time. It was disclosed in Brajabhumi after 1 year. People forgotten that how old Krishna was that time. As if it had taken place on that every day. As if it had taken place on that very day. After happening all this, even Brajvasi was thinking, oh, this has just happened today. This has just happened today. Now Prabhupada is saying in his purport, the word mokshanam means liberation. For the associates of Krishna and for Krishna himself. There is no question about liberation. They are already liberated. Being in the spiritual world, in the material world, there are birth and death, old age and disease. But in the spiritual world, there are no such things because everything is eternal. As for the python, however, by the association of Krishna and his devotees, Aghasura also achieved the same facility of eternal life. He also entered in the spiritual world. Therefore, as indicated here by the word Atmahi Mokshanam, if the python Aghasura could receive eternal association, what is to be said of those who are already associate of the Lord? Sakam bijahuru kritah punyajah. So this is a proof that God is good for everyone. He has no discrimination. Then who we are to discriminate? Ah, need to be very careful. Even when he kills someone, the one who is killed attains liberation. What then is to be said of those are already in the association of the Lord? Jai Jai Shri Radhe